Hey, everybody, welcome to this Board Game Life, episode number 107, titled To Keep or Not. This is the show about, or the podcast about games, board games, tabletop games, card games, any kind of games we want to talk about, or anything else we want to talk about, including in industry news. No appliances, right, Mark?
That's right.
No, or towels. Well, maybe we'll talk towels, who knows? But anyway, that's what the show is about. And I am your fine host for today. My name is Rob. And that sultry, sexy voice that you heard just now, other than mine, was my good buddy Mark.
Hey, greetings, everybody. How you doing?
Here we are again. More exciting, fun stuff in this board game life, which we live every day. Almost. Or as much as we can.
We try.
Yeah, exactly. It's a wonderful place to be. Anyway, so let's get on with the show. But before we get on to the main meat of the show, just want to make mention that you can find us on the YouTubes, where Mark is posting a ton of great content. Well, we have the podcast on there, so there's this video version of the podcast. There's an audio version of the podcast, and then Mark's doing unboxings. We've got some playthroughs, reviews. Mark's doing mailbag, which is really cool because you can see all the fun new stuff that he's getting. It's always like, what's in that box? Or what box is in that box? But anyway, make sure to check out our channel. And when you do, a great way to support us on there is to like and subscribe. Always like and definitely subscribe. That way, it helps support the show. It's a great way to support us at no cost to you. And then plus you get to find out when there's new content that drops, which is definitely awesome to know. All right. So here, let's talk about what we've gotten to the table here. I'll go first. There was a game that I picked up at Gen Con, and I finally got some time to get it to the table. It's called Washed Ashore. It's a fate and flip game. So it's this little card game. Think of choose your own adventure in a card game, if that makes sense. By the way, did you know that they redid or reprinted all of the choose your own adventure books?
No, I did not.
Those when you were youths?
Dude, of course we did.
There's like what, Abominable Snowman? I think that was like book 101 or something like that. But
there was
anyway,
a ton of them.
Yeah. So they redid, I guess, the entire series a couple of years ago, and you can get the whole series. I mean, well, a good place to get them too is like a Goodwill or something like that, because I've seen them over there. But if you want to get new, less stinky copies of any of these, you can find them at the publisher's website. And the interesting thing is that they have modernized some of these. I bet you're wondering, like, how can you modernize a choose your own adventure?
I was just wondering,
book?
how could you modernize?
Yeah, well, let me tell you. So apparently, there's some things that we had when we were young, because, right, we were like what, preteens and teens when we read them. And some stuff from back then doesn't exist anymore. Like, people really don't have phones at home. So apparently, like, some of the stuff that they've actually changed is like, you run into the kitchen, you pick up the phone. It's like, now it's, you pick up your cell phone. So they've had to modernize things a little bit to, to roll with the times. But apparently, they probably don't need to change the Abominable Snowman.
So what you're saying, Rob, is we're old?
Well, technology
things that existed in our childhood are no longer.
Yeah, technology is different now, but the Abominable Snowman and the Loch Ness Monster, they're all the same.
Yeah.
And don't forget, though, this is my pro tip: when you get bitten by the snake, don't run for help. That will be your demise, because that makes the venom. real quick.
Spoiler.
But anyway, so I segued us into Choose Your Own Adventure books. Now it'll bring us back into Wash to Shore. So what's interesting about this game is that it's this deck of, I don't know, like 80 cards, and they're double-sided, and then there's top and bottom. So you're basically going through this gamified Choose Your Own Adventure on a card deck. And as you're going through it, you have to make choices, and then it'll affect your statistics, like there's a food tracker, there's energy tracker, and just as an example, it's this one card where you slide these little like paperclip looking things up and down to keep track of things. But what's interesting is that you go through, you make your decisions, and then it'll tell you, okay, make your adjustments, your tweaks on your scorecard, and then flip this card along the long side and put it on the back of the deck. And then it'll tell you to progress to different cards on there. And there's items that you have. It's pretty interesting. So it's definitely a solo game. It does have definitely a replay count, right? Before you've kind of done it all. There's 13 different endings in this one. Just like
Okay.
how in a Choose Your Own Adventure book, there's like 5, 10, 15 different endings. And then you can basically replay it to try to maybe make smarter decisions, unless you're me, and every decision is a smart one. Or the see what the different endings are and see how the story progresses. So it's a cool little card game. I think it was like $15 when I got it. It was definitely less than 20. It's something that you can definitely, you know, knock out in like half an hour, and you just get some enjoyment out of there. And definitely get your reading glasses if you need those. Don't forget them. But yeah, that's what I played. How about you?
All right. So I got not my list is shorter this week, but I did get to play some just amazing games. I did get to play SETI again. Absolutely love this game. I've spoke enough about it, so I won't dive into it, but just SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, fantastic game. I did play Arcs again. This is like my third or fourth time, and this will come up great in our topic today. This game's going to be leaving my library this week. It's just not something that I just don't see the draw of this game. I know it was super popular. Lots of people loved it last year when it came out, and I don't get
Not
it.
feeling it?
And the majority of my group feels the same way. We're just like, I don't know. So, I'll talk more about that later on. I got introduced to a new game, well, new to me, Fleet the Dice game, and absolutely enjoyed that. In fact, I had to order that one. It's a nice little rolling of the dice, and it's a roll and write essentially.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is like, so if you've got three people, you're rolling like, I think you roll one extra die than you do have people in the game. So we had three people. We were rolling four for the start with your ships. And like whoever's the first player, they roll a dice, they pick a dice to do as an action. And then you go around the table, everyone picking a dice. And whatever the last one is, everyone gets that action. And then you go in and you do like your income, and then you do some rounds, you'll do fishing, and then you end up doing like town actions. And then there's dice for the town, and it does the same thing. You roll the dice and you get to pick, whoever's first picks their action, goes around, and you have one dice left over that everyone gets that town action. So you're doing these down on your paper, but marking these things off. But again, it's as you do certain things, you can kind of chain some things like, oh, I did this, which gives me some coins, which gave me another action. And so you're trying to like chain things, and you're trying to get up this fleet of fishing boats, and you want to make sure that when you're doing a round where you're fishing, that you have enough space on the boats where you might need to get some other boats into your fleet. And there's all these town actions you can take, and it's just a fun little, quick little game. About 30 to 45 minutes, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So I ordered this game, and it's actually out for delivery right now. It should be showing up at any time, and I'm looking forward to getting that in hand as well.
And
Also,
later on in the show, while I'm talking, just order the original,
okay.
the OG, not Fleet, the dice game, or Roll and Write, or card game, or anything else. Just Fleet.
Fleet.
Yeah.
I'll look at it while you're talking later.
Okay.
All right. Then I got to play a game called Path of Civilization, and it was a really like a short Civ game, which normally doesn't seem to work. Like normally Civilization games are very long games, and this one wasn't.
Yes.
It was quick. It was very enjoyable. I liked how it played, and really did enjoy this game. So if you are interested in Civ games but don't want to play one that takes forever, check out Path of Civilization. Let's see. This thing is, what do they say? Well, they say 60 to 120 minutes. I think 2 hours that's way too long. Now we played with 3 people, and they were teaching me. I can actually pull this up fairly quickly to tell you how long we actually played. We took us 1 hour for 3 people to play, and they were teaching me. So
you played it wrong?
No, we did the 60 minutes.
Okay. All right.
They say 60 to 120. Maybe 120 if you have the 5 players, because that does almost double the amount of people. But even then, I still think 2 hours would be, you'd have to really be taking your time, I think, to get 2 hours in this game. So, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. Then I also got to play the new reprint of Botswana, the Reiner Knizia game.
Yeah.
And I took this over to my mother's house. I'm like, this seems like a real simple game. And she really enjoyed it a lot.
Really?
And,
okay.
Yeah. And she kicked everybody's butt. So every time I teach her a new game, she always wins.
Funny how that works.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to let her win. Like, this was like what I thought was a simple game. I should have handled it okay. But then my son kept hosing me and stealing all my points at the last card played. I'm like, you jerk. I looked at him one time. I had like a whole bunch of I think I had rhinos and in front of me, and then they were like, I had like the 5 card in my hand to make him worth max points, and he put down like as the 0 card, which made him worth nothing. And then somebody went out before it got back to me. So I got no points for all my rhinos. I was like, what a jerk. But he got a kick out of it. But, Botswana, it's a very quick, this is a redo of a game that's been around for a long time. And it plays quick. It's a fun little card game. I thought the artwork on it was nice because there's you've got these rhinoceroses, or you've got these elephants, or these lions, and there's like 6 cards of each, numbered 0 to 5. And instead of just having the same artwork on each one, they did different artwork on each card, which I thought was really nice. I made that comment about that in my unboxing. And, they didn't just skimp out by doing, let's just make, what do we got? There's like 5 animals in the game. They could have just done 5 pictures and printed, but they didn't. They did 6 pictures of each animal for each type. So, and it was cool. The artwork was kind of nice. So, but anyways, quick game. Not a whole lot. It's very easy to play, very simple to pick up. So if you're interested, check out Botswana. And this one has the new reprint from 25th Century Games does have these wooden animal tokens that actually are really, really nice. They did a really nice job on them. And that's when you play a card, you take an animal token, put it in front of you. And then that's, as you're playing a card out, you're basically putting a price or what the value is for certain animals. But if someone, if you have like me, I had a bunch of rhinos and my son puts out a 0, he just killed all my points. So you got to be careful of what you're grabbing, and it's watch what's out there. But the interesting thing is there's always cards removed from the game. So at the very beginning, you always take, like with the 4 players, you take 2 cards out. So you don't know which 2 cards have been removed. So, but makes it a little more interesting. We also played I Made You a Mixtape. I've talked about this before. I had done a solo run of this. So this I did. We played it 4 player. Again, somehow my mother won again. I'm just like, what? I think it's beginner's luck. So
Sure.
I like this one. I do like the I Made You a Mixtape game. The scoring can get a little complicated, I think. Once you go through, then it's like, okay, this makes sense. But trying to explain to others how to score, it's like I had to go score everybody. When you're talking about the part of the game where you're scoring up flow, like it's like it was just easier for me to, okay, this is what you got, and I counted up all their flow. But everything else scores out fairly easy. It's just the flow portion can get a little tricky, but it's fun, especially like Rob, you and I, grew up. We're children of the music era of the 80s and 90s, and
You never made me a mixtape, by the way.
I did. You just threw it away. No,
Probably.
I'll make you one. Get off my lawn. But yeah, so again, there's real song titles, and it's like
Yeah.
as people are getting their cards out, they start to sing the songs that they see that are in their tape, and oh my, it's kind of fun. Nice little nostalgia as well in the game.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of interesting where it's there's what, this year there were 2 Dice Tower dudes that made games,
Yeah,
right? So this is what, Mike Delicio, and then Soda Jerk is done by, what's that guy's name?
Krishy.
Yeah, Chris Yee. So it's interesting that you know they're stepping out into the design thing. And then one other guy made that, what, Last Light,
Yeah, I have not had
a
a
couple
chance to
years
play
ago.
that, but
Um,
I can see him, but I can't remember his name. But yeah,
yeah,
so they have done. They've had some games come up. I got to look this up. What is his name? Because I know it. Oh, Roy Kennedy.
yeah.
So, but Last Light's one I definitely want to play. I got a friend who has it, so I'll have to talk her into bringing it to game night some night. So, but the last thing I played last night, I got to play Brink one more time from Ivy Studios, and I actually have played this once before. I decided to buy it. I did finally see that the deluxe edition was available in the store. So this is something that's been shipping out to backers, and it looks like it's now appearing in stores. So my copy should be here Friday. I'm looking forward to it. Brink is a really, really good game with just lots of different variations and options, and it's there's trading going on, and you've got voting going on. You're putting these ships out, and you're trying to get supplies, and you're trying to get power and different regions, and it's a very interesting group of game mechanics. There are some cards that you can play. There's things you can put out that will alter the end game, the end of the round, and the way voting is done and scoring. Excuse me. So you can try to hurt others if you have an idea of what they might be trying to vote in. Like there was something we had where voting for yellow, for every vote for yellow would reduce that vote total by 1 or something, like, it basically are trying to just nullify any votes for yellow to get more votes for themselves. But it's a really fun game, and I think this is my first Ivy Studios outside of, I played something small. It's sitting right in front of me, but I can't find it. Well, maybe it's not in front of me because I don't see it. I can't remember the name of it, but it was part of the Tend universe. It was a
10,
little
yeah.
card game. What?
No, I was going to say 10, but is
It
that what you picked up at Gen Con
yes,
when we went
it's
over there? Yeah.
yeah, it's a card game in the Tend universe, and I can't remember the name of it,
Yeah.
but oh, it's probably right here behind me because I got nope.
Just look at the shelf. Yeah.
I'm looking. My small stuff is usually right here, but I've got some things. I got some things in various places, but for some reason I'm not seeing it. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But this was like my first large game from IB Studios. I know they're very famous for lots of different things. So Brink is in the Moon Rakers world. I
Yeah.
think it's a Moon Rakers, and I have not played that. I have not played that game, but I really have fallen in love with Brink and can't wait to get my copy. So I should be, if you're interested in seeing what this game looks like, what comes in it, there's a lot of tiles. It's like a tile placement. You're exploring in space and putting up new tiles, and these tiles can give you resources and actions, and so there's these different things. And you got when you're placing your ships out on the tiles, depending on which ship you place, determines whether you're picking up stuff from one tile, two tiles, or three tiles. And there's a lot of strategy of how you're doing things. There's ambassador cards you can grab that will give you some kind of ongoing bonuses throughout the game, potentially end game scoring bonuses. There's action cards. There's these other cards called uh, what are they called? Can't remember. But you basically take this card and do this action to, again, these are the ones that can affect the end of the round, how scoring and voting and things happen, or what affects the voting. So you have different abilities, and so it's a worker placement game with like voting, trading, and things like that. So with the sci-fi theme, really, really excellent. So, oh, I did play. You know what? This isn't the first big game. Fractured Sky is
Yeah.
my that I have from
Yep.
them. That's a fun one too. But I really like Brink even a lot better. I really do.
Okay.
So, but
Yeah.
that's what I got played.
Some of the releases that they had this year, I mean, other than like the Moon ones, Veiled Fate,
Yeah,
um, Graft. Is that it?
Graft. That was
Yeah.
the one that I played.
Yeah. There's like Time to Panic.
I have that one. Haven't played it yet.
Yeah. Did you back Honor's End?
I did not. I did not. I looked at it, but I don't
Yeah.
think it's going to be. It's interesting though, because that one is their new one, which is available
Mhm.
now, and it
Yeah.
is
I think
a
it's still going, right?
yeah. I
The
think it
Kickstarter.
just started. Um, is it a Kickstarter or is it on GameFound?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I'll look it
Whoever
up.
it was, I backed it.
It to me almost
Yeah.
feels like it would be a GameFound, but I
Yeah.
think you're right. I think it's Kickstarter. So,
Or it'll
but
be one of
yeah.
those where it's Kickstarter and then it switches or something. Although I don't
Oh
know if
yeah, it is
that's
Kickstarter.
doable. Yeah.
But that's like a cooperative deck building adventure game campaign or something. So it's a cooperative deck builder, which is interesting, but I don't know. It's just like a campaign, or it says with an optional narrative campaign. So I guess
Yeah.
but I don't know a whole lot about it. So
Hmm.
what I looked at, it was like maybe not.
Yeah.
So it just seems more like too much story for my taste. So
So you can either back it now or back it later. So just get it over with. So you don't have to worry about it and like panic. Oh my God, did it end?
there's a story
Because
mode.
if you're a late backer, you'll have to pay extra. Just
Yeah.
saying.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So I'm
Okay.
you're being a bad example. I'm trying to be, you know, You would be surprised. My shelves are getting empty. I have been purging, and basically what I have behind me is almost everything. I've got a few things off to the side, and that's about it. I've got one shelf that's almost completely empty, and I could have it empty if I just moved the couple games that are on it to some of these other shelves that I have. I've been purging a lot, and which will lead us later into our topic this week. I'll
Sure.
explain why I'm doing that later. But yeah, Brink is absolutely really fun game. I really enjoy it. So excited to get a copy of it and have it on
Mhm.
my shelf. And I look forward to getting this played more
Ditto.
times and bringing this one to my game group. Because this one I learned this game from a different group that I go to instead of my own. So once this arrives, I'll be taking this to my group and getting the chance for my group to play it as well. So, but that's it for me for this
Okay.
week.
All righty. If you're wondering how you can contact us, this is the spot where you find out. A couple ways
How?
you can do that, of course. So on all the videos on YouTube, you can feel free to leave a comment on there. You can send us an email at contact at this board game life, or find us on BGG as well. We've got a guild over there, and there's just so many different ways to do it. So choose whatever method you like. In the end, it all gets back to us. All right, before we get on with the main part of the show, there's a couple of things. Did you have any news stuff
I
that we're going to talk about? I had like three things only.
that
It
looks
was,
like, well, I only the one you got here
yeah,
I saw, but that was it. So
yeah. So I thought this was kind of interesting. So apparently, Kickstarter went on strike. Did you know about this? I didn't.
I didn't until I was looking at news stuff earlier today.
until just now. But yeah, there's a contract that expired. I guess they're unionized. Um, and they had a 3-year contract, and then their current contract that they had expired in July. So they elected to go on strike, which I thought was interesting. And the key issues that they had, according to the union folks, are they want an extension of the company's 32-hour 4-day work week, which has been in place for 3 years, and a minimum living wage for New York City, which New York's kind of pricey.
Yep.
Basically, the union says it costs 85,000 a year. That's the minimum living wage out there. And then
Unbelievable.
the company wants the right to return to a 5-day work week in the future, and has not accepted the minimum wage proposal. So they voted to strike on September 26th, and um, what they want people to give them letters of support, I guess, which is interesting. I haven't seen any updates on this, so they may or may
Yeah.
not be striking still.
Well, there's still stuff going off on Kickstarter.
Yeah, maybe it's automated, right? At some point,
Could be.
you're just sitting there watching servers kind of do their thing, and let me see, there was an update last week, and key open issues, according to the union, are the extension of the 32-hour 4-day work week and minimum wage. So I guess that's the stickler for them. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it works out for everybody, and for us as well, because you know we tend to send the money so that companies can send us games.
Yeah.
Another thing is AEG, which is one of my more favorite publishers. I tend to like a lot of their stuff, and they have some cool events over at Gen Con. But one game that they recently had on Kickstarter is Misfit Heroes. This is a Phil Walker Harding card game. And this one was announced that it's going to hit retail on April 3rd, 2026. So it's going to have a retail price of $39.99. It's 2 to 4 players, 10 and up, plays in 30 to 45 minutes. So interesting little card game, definitely. So there's that. And I thought this was interesting. So one game that you and I both enjoy is Castles of Burgundy. They had special edition that came out from Awakened Realms, and it got a reprint. All this Castles of Burgundy goodness in all these massive boxes. Well, it looks like Ravensburger is going to be releasing the Castles of Burgundy special edition to retail in the fall of 2025. So to me, that means any day now, right? Because it is fall and it is 2025. So what's in this version? I bet you're wondering, because I was.
What's in
So
this version, Rob?
yeah, this is a definitive edition of the game. The other one was a special edition, definitive. I mean, this reminds me of the whole, like, when the next generation consoles came out, where you had the high def version of a game, then you had the definitive edition, then ultimate edition. So they're kind of doing the same thing. So the special edition was released in 2023, so 2 years ago by Awakened Realms. And the special edition is going to offer players a complete redesign of art and layout, as well as premium components. It's also going to have extra components that enhance gameplay, such as double layered player boards, special bags for the hexes, and 30% bigger tiles and metal coins. So we can look to see when this is going to happen. It says retail in fall of 2025. So unless something changes, it'll be here in the next, 2-3 months, maybe? Because I think fall runs through December 21st-ish.
Fall 2025 runs through spring of 2028 in terms of kickstarting crowdfunding.
Or longer. Yeah. Or whatever the date period is, you just add ish.
Yeah.
And then fall-ish. 2025-ish. So that immediately gives it a little bit of leeway. But, I don't think this is anything like either you or I would necessarily need, but, because we have the super mega deluxe high def special ultimate edition. So this is probably a more accessible version that's going to be in retail that has better components than the previous versions.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's it for the news. There's just a couple of things. And I don't know if this is really super interesting to anybody, but the Gamma Expo is going to be moving to Baltimore. So that's going to be in 2027. So they're picking up their stuff and they're going to Baltimore. And they're going to be out there through 2032. So what is that, like 5 years? Probably a 5-year contract. So that's something that we don't go to, right? Because that's more the board game or the industry folks.
Yeah.
And retailers and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it for the news. And yeah. So our main topic, so this would be kind of a cool thing to talk about. Like the title of the show is To Keep or Not. Or how about it should be like to keep or not to keep? That is the question.
That is the question.
Yes.
But it's only a question. I just thought of this. It's only a question for people like you and me who just buy on a whim. you know,
Well,
smart people don't have this problem because
I
they
just
buy the games they want
I
or
just
that they know they
yeah,
want.
I'm just in denial.
Yeah.
I'm just in crazy denial. I'll think
Yeah.
about that later.
Yeah.
Then you run out of floor space in your house. Then it's a problem. Then you have to act.
Yes.
But yeah, so this is kind of an interesting thing because I think everybody approaches this probably differently. And basically, how do we go about deciding what to keep? And there can be multiple like levels of this, right? Because you can have what to keep and what to give away, sell, whatever.
Hmm.
Then we typically have our favorite shelves, like behind me here. It's like what goes there versus in the other room or the closet or basement or wherever you keep the stuff. What goes on the floor? That's the overflow, the spill, the spillage. And, so let's start with the easy one. Like when you go through, Mark, when you go through and try to decide, it's like, okay, I need to cull some games, right? I need to free up space. I need to just get rid of games I don't like. I need to just recoup some money or something like that. What do you start with? How do you go about that?
So I'm like on my probably fifth purge. This
Hmm.
last time I started getting bigger things. So I started with like small things or just older stuff that I just don't play or that my group doesn't play or that I played it once and I was like, yeah, it was okay. A lot of my original stuff was first couple of purges was things that I got when I was first getting in. I went on this huge buying spree, and some might say I'm still in a buying spree, but it's definitely been a lot more contained,
Hmm.
and I'm a lot pickier now
Yeah.
uh, on what I'm getting. So, and again, I mentioned this a couple times, not to keep repeating it, but it was maybe a couple months back. I got to play Great Western Trail, and in the middle of that game, it hit me. I was like, this is so much fun. I want to play this again right away.
Okay.
I haven't. And I knew it. I'm like, this is going to be something that I didn't have. Someone else brought it. Now I have it. I did buy it. It's right, zoop, right there. If you're looking at my fingers pointing right to it. Then I got like an expansion, and then I got the El Paso one, which I haven't tried that yet. But I don't even know if I want to play the El Paso version because the original was so much fun that I think I'd rather I'm going to try the El Paso, but I'd like to play it at least once. But I think it's going to be one of those that the original is so good that I don't need to have the other one. If I want to play that game, I want to play the original.
Right.
Um, and then I got to play Tolkien, the Mayan calendar, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so fantastic. So it's like I'm a Fresco game you gave me a couple years ago. I finally got played, and that one I have been able to play it a couple of times. And it's like I've got all these games, and because I have so many, and because I'm constantly buying something new, I'm always playing something new to try to. I got a list games not played. It's that shelf of shame. I'm trying to get them played. I'm buying them. Let's play them. Planet Unknown sitting right here. Love this. This is like one of my favorites. I don't
Yeah.
often get to play it. I got Leviathan Wilds. I've got SETI. I got Teagarden. I got Galilei just right here. Just right there on that little spot. Andromeda's Edge sitting right over here. And there's a Tolkien I mentioned. And So a lot of these games I'm like, I want to play again. I want to get them played more than once. And so I'm trying to now kind of get rid of things that I don't really need, that I'm not going to be able to probably get played. Or if I've played it, is it something that I'm like, I've got to play it again, like a Great Western Trail? If it's not, then it's like, okay, I need to chuck it. So I do have also like Last Station London. I think that's what it's called, sitting right up here at the top.
Yeah.
Um, I had
Yeah. There's like
Paris
London
and
and
Tokyo,
Tokyo. Yeah. Yeah.
and I bought them because it's like, oh, I got to get them in this series. But then, like, I actually liked the London. I think it was that one. I think that was the first one. I liked that
Mhm.
one. Then the Tokyo, there were some changes, and I didn't really care for it as much. And then I never even played the Paris one. So I'm like, I just kept one. I'm down to just one of them, and I'm getting rid of the others. And so, like Space Base sitting right next to it. I love Space Base. Fantastic game. I had like 3 expansions for it, never touched them. And I'm like, why do I have these? Like every time I play, we play the base game. It's absolutely
Yeah.
fine. We don't need anything additional. Um, and I got tired of like every time I go, I got to learn something new because I'm playing something new. And then all these amazing games that I have sitting on my shelf go unplayed. And I'm like,
Right.
that's, it kind of hit me. I'm like, okay, something's got to change. So that's where I'm kind of like looking at things, gonna start making some tough decisions to purge the things that likely aren't going to get played. And I still have a lot of games. There's still a ton of stuff, but I'm trying to get it to be the stuff I really, really want because I want to play it again, and trying to make that transition from collector of games to player of games, but player of games that I really, really enjoy playing. And I want to get things like Andromeda's Edge and Lost Ruins of Arnak, and
Sure.
I got the big key. I got the big case. I got all the expansions. I've only played the base game, and I played it like twice. Like I want to play more of it. I want to play the expanded content. I buy that, but then I just don't have the time because something new came in, and now I got to play that. So, and I kind of tried to apply that to the Fleet the dice game. So I'm like, okay, I've got roll and writes that I really like. Hadrian's Wall, Draft and Write Records. I've got several others and I'm like, how often do I play a roll and write? Not a lot. So I'm like, but I really enjoyed the Fleet game, and you can play it solo. And it's something I could take that's a quick game that's very easy to play at a game night. So I'm like, I think I want that one. I'm going to go ahead and add that to my collection.
Mhm.
And I can play it in multiple groups because of the flexibility of it. So I can play it with my mother. It's something that she could learn. But I can also take it to my game group and play with them. So trying to, I'm trying to be careful of what I purchase, or back, so that I don't just buy for the sake of it. Just like we mentioned, Honor's Edge, or is that what it was?
Andromeda's Edge.
No, the one you mentioned that's crowdfunding now from Ivy
Oh,
Studios.
Honors
End
Edge.
honors
Honors
honors.
something. Yeah.
Um, I'll look that back up so we get I think it was Honors End, but
Sounds good.
Honors End. That is correct. Okay. Yes, it's Ivy Studios. Yes, I like some of their stuff. Their stuff is great production, but I have this like I want to buy it. I have this like I want to get it. I get excited. It's going to be very high quality, but I gotta like, yeah, this is something I need to wait. If later I get like Brink, I did get to play it. Now I'm not getting the super deluxe edition because you had to crowdfund to get that super deluxe edition, or probably buy it on the secondhand market. And I'm just, the deluxe edition is going to be fine, and I'm still going to have the game that I will play a couple of times, and it'll be in my collection. So it really takes a lot, I think, if you're someone like myself who just I get excited by buying something. I get excited by something new, but then like trying to be like I want to play some of these old stuff. There's a lot of stuff I haven't been
Yeah.
exposed to.
And you can't keep up with the stuff. There's just so
You,
much coming out now.
you can't. And I'm a,
Yeah.
I'm in an active group. I play at least every week, and like I got to go last night. I'll be going again tomorrow to my group. So you know, as active as I am in playing board games, I still can't play everything that I have. I need
Yeah.
to tone it down, and I really want to play some of these games more than just once or twice. So that's kind of a long way of. I don't know if I answered the question, Rob. I don't know if there's no clear answer because everyone's going to probably have a different criteria of what to keep.
Sure.
Some people like the new hotness. A lot of people might just be like, I just want to always be learning something new, so they might always be purging. Um, Me, it's like I would like to learn some of these games so that I could grab it off the shelf and sit down and just teach it and know the game and then actually play it, not going every time like, okay, how do I do this again? Even Brink, I'd only played it once last night. It was like, okay, I made a couple mistakes to begin with. I was like, yeah, I need that first round to get back into how to play, trying to remember all the little things that can affect the game. So, and it'd be nice to be able to just play things enough to know the game well enough you can sit down and play it. And having that ability to play some of the classic games that are out there that coming late into the hobby that I did not get to experience when they were new. So just because it's old, it's still new to me. And there's some amazing games out there. So
Oh yeah, definitely. I know like some of my criteria, and I don't know if this is good or bad in terms of decision making. Probably bad. But with some games, I get some kind of emotional investment into them, if that makes sense. Like, oh, this is a game that I got when I first got into the hobby and I really enjoyed it. So I might keep a game just based on that. And maybe there's a better game. Maybe there's, 10 games that are almost identical, just different themes. Maybe there's even like two newer versions, right? Two reprints that have come out since that are maybe better in each way. But I have that investment in a game where it's like, it reminds me of like, hey, this is like for example, like I haven't played Dominion in a really long time, but I'll never get rid of it because that was one of the first games that I got when I got back into the hobby. Like it was like 2010, 2011, whenever that was. Because I went to this local game store that was in a mall. So I think they sold games and they sold calendars, something along those lines. And they had a ton of board games, and the guy recommended, he's like, hey, there's this game called Catan and there's this game called Dominion. They're really popular. And I'm like, okay, I'll grab them. And this is like when Dominion first came out. And because of that, I'll always keep Dominion. At least that's my plan. Just I'll keep that one case of all those cards, and I've got everything combined in this artist case. And it like weighs a billion pounds. It's super heavy, but it's like all 8 games in one unit. But when I have a fondness for a game or there's something special to me, I will keep that game. Definitely. Um, Another criteria based on if I want to keep it or not also is table presence. And I know that's stupid, but if a game doesn't have something appealing to it in terms of how it looks, how it plays, maybe the art, and that will subtract a couple points if I'm looking to keep something or to punt it. I know that's a goofy thing too, but that's how I roll with my stuff. So there's some like unusual criteria that I use in addition to, is it a good game, right? If there's a I can't say that there's any game that I really, really, really disliked because to me, in part, it's how much fun I have with people. There's games that I don't necessarily want to play them again. Doesn't mean I dislike it. You know what I'm saying?
No, because I immediately think of a game that won the Spiel de Jar, and I hated it.
That's a you problem. But anyway, so there's so many criteria that I have, and then I have to mentally go through, and there's also a checkbox for how well received the game is. So, for example, like here, right here, I have Great Western Trail. You mentioned it a little bit ago on your shelf. That's a game that I'm probably going to stick with for some time. I'm not
Yeah.
going to get rid of it.
No.
Is it my most favorite game? No. Do I enjoy it? Yeah, but I'll hang on to it just because it's such a well received game and
Yeah,
it'll
some
sit
games you
there.
just gotta hold on to. At
Yeah.
least until Awakened Realms does the special edition, and then you can upgrade it.
Yeah. So
No.
what you're basically telling me, when that happens, then you don't want that because you actually have, I think, the second version of it.
I do have the
Because
second.
that's the
Yeah.
original one. Actually, funny story about that. So you see how there's like the three dudes
I
on
don't
the
see the. I can't
cover?
see the box.
Oh,
I see it. Was it Adventureland? You're just off screen. Oh yeah, that one, the original Great Western
yeah,
Trail.
yeah. So when we went through all that COVID garbage and we had to stay home and we were all on our meetings all the time, I actually had to get a screen for like one of those folding room
A
divider
panel.
screens. Yeah,
Yeah.
panels. And I had to put it here because Zoom and WebEx kept zooming in on those faces. And I would go out of focus, they would go in focus. They would go out of focus, and it was just going back and forth. And I'm like, then I like got rid of it. And then there were problems with other stuff, and I'm like, that was interesting. It made me spend money.
Yeah.
IKEA made some money.
Yeah.
But um yeah, so there's definitely some games that I will keep just because of how well received they are. If another thing is, if a game is higher up on the BGG rankings, I don't want to say hotness list,
Yeah.
but not that I scour the list to see what's on there, but if a game is higher on that list, to me it's more keepable. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's typically the better games will be there and
Yes.
stuff that's in the 10,000s. I mean, there's some 10,000 level games that are definitely still awesome, but they just don't have the reputation or the following that some of these other games have. But um and another thing that I think about sometimes as well is, if a game has a small box, I'm more apt to give it a pass, meaning to keep it versus to get rid of it. So, if something is I don't know, like a small little card game. Like here's,
You're,
here's oh my goods.
yeah, it's
So
easier to find the
yeah,
spot for it.
yeah, exactly. So if there's a little game, even if I don't necessarily like it a whole lot, um, I'll still probably keep it just because it's easier to keep than something that's Gloomhaven or Eagle Griffin game size. And so that's just a couple of my criteria. Like, do you have anything similar to that? Like reasons that you will pick some games to keep over others? Just
Uh,
like
it
arbitrary stuff
I
out of the norm that most people would think.
I don't think so.
No, it's only
Um,
madness.
I because like mine is I think mostly about playability. Well, I don't know. It really is a tough thing because there's different things like I think that like Flip Tunes, for example, is a new one I just picked up. I don't know if I'll play it, but the artwork is so cool. I absolutely love the artwork on that, and I just that's something I'll probably just keep.
That's a
And it's
reason.
also it's a small card game, so it doesn't take up much space, and it is something I could pull out at any point with any group and play it. But it's more of a lighter game. My main group's not going to really like it. I don't think that much. It was okay. We played it once, but the artwork is so cool. I love the animation
Yeah.
on it, and
Mhm.
that is something I would absolutely that'll stay just because of that.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, there's some fondness. Are there some games that you might keep because of the components? Like they'll have really cool coins or maybe
So
minis.
I think the games I don't everything I'm getting rid of. I don't think I'm getting rid of anything that really has.
Like the Luxified stuff.
Well, that's tough. So I got I have too many bones, and
You
which
do?
is a very expensive, very heavy,
Oh, I thought you were talking about
very
you.
deluxified chip
Yeah.
theory
I
game.
know. Yeah.
So, but I also bought like Undertow and Unbreakable. It's like they're the standalone expansion. They're not
Hmm.
expansion. They're like standalone games, like to continue the story or something. I bought them. They're sitting here. Never played them. They, if I can sell them for a decent price, then I will let them go. They are. I am not taking them into my local game store to get a cup. To get $2 for them. Like that's not going to happen.
It's
I'll
like
just hold
going to
on to them.
CD replay
Yeah.
or whatever.
So I'm
Yeah.
also looking at getting rid of ISS Vanguard. I bought all that, all the stuff, and I got to play it a couple times now, and it's just not for me. It just really isn't. And so,
Hmm.
but again, it was such a big investment that I can't just let it go. I'd rather it sit on my shelf and look good, than to just give it away essentially. So that's like if I can get that one for a decent price, then I will. And I got one other one that's Saga Origins. Played through one of the story campaigns with the group. It's not a bad game, but it is kind of a one versus many. So one person is kind of controlling the dungeon as the others are going through it, and it was kind of fun. I'm competing against them, but I wanted them to kind of succeed at the same time because I was, kind of like I was the dungeon master, if you will, or the game master
Hmm.
running the dungeons, but I still like control the monsters that they're attacking, picking who I attack and position of the monsters. So I'm kind of attacking everybody, but it, I think there's better. It was very basic. It wasn't really, and it's a big, I got terrain, I got miniatures, same thing. That thing I will let go. But again, it's like that one's going to have to be sold to someone on Facebook Marketplace or something like that, or to get a decent price. Not I don't expect retail. I don't none of that, but yeah, I want some money for it because it's definitely worth it. So, but most of the things I've done, upgrades, metal coins, things like that, I probably won't get rid of because I've invested in it. They're things that I like or I knew I would like. Just a couple of things that I have that I kind of thought that and have turned out to be otherwise. So yeah, I don't. But again, if I had something that had metal coins in it, that I'm like, okay, I'm not playing this. Lords of Waterdeep, I've upgraded the
Yeah.
snot out of that game, and I don't really get to play it much, but it's one that I want to. And my group does like that game, so I will hold on to it. And it's something I'll just try to, as I'm making the purge, then it opens up the ability to play some games like that where I've bought all the extras. So again, there's no clear cut answer. It really is dependent upon each and every title, and I think how we're feeling that day.
Yeah.
Are we nostalgic for the game or not?
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Like, I'll keep a game if I have some sort of nostalgia for it. Now, there are games that are entirely built on nostalgia, like some of the restoration games, and they're they're better left in nostalgia. But hey, that's a whole different story. But how about how about this? Like, when you get a game, has there ever been a situation where you play the game and then after one play, you're like, trade pile immediately? Like, I'm not giving it a second chance. This was a mistake getting it. Not necessarily buyer's remorse, but it just, there's so many things with this game that I just didn't care for, that it is immediately going, I'm not going to give it a second chance. I don't care if I played it wrong or misunderstood something or whatever. Have you ever gone to that?
Yes, absolutely.
You're smiling.
A game
Was
again comes to mind called Challengers.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Bye. ISS Vanguard. I've given it a couple of times, but it's not something for me. And it's a beautiful table presence, big production. There's a lot to it. There's miniatures, there's cards, there's books for maps, there's just all kinds of things. But it's just, in the end, I really don't enjoy it. I really like games more like, I think, like Nemesis, where you've got action, you've got, even if a game is great, but I'm sitting there for 20 minutes waiting to take my turn, it's just not fun. I like games where, my favorites are where everybody's playing almost constant. It's
simultaneously.
just
Yeah.
simultaneous.
Simultaneous play.
Yes, I absolutely love that. Or where you don't have a lot of room for um, analysis paralysis. I want to keep it moving because you get that one person that just takes forever on their turn. Next thing you know, everyone's on their phones. No one's paying attention anymore because they're bored. So I don't
Hmm.
like games that allow that to take place too much. Um, but so if there's a lot of that, I'll just lose interest, even if the theme is nice or the game is good. If it just takes 4 hours to play because of there's just too much time between turns, I just, it's not anything. My thought is I can play two or three other games in the time frame of this one and have a blast over there constantly, as opposed to, oh, I did my 2 minute turn, now I got 18 minutes to waste on my phone till it comes back around to me. That's
Hmm.
just not fun.
Right. Or here's another thing for you. How about reprints of games? Is a reprint, acquiring a reprint, worth getting rid of the old game? So, like, for example, Alia Iacta Est, right? That one you just picked up recently. And then that one was redone as, I don't know, Golden City or something like that. It had some different name. Total retheme. It wasn't like the Roman era and all that. If you were like, if it was a game that you really enjoyed and you had both old and new versions, would you be more apt to keep both, or would you want to get rid of one? And the reason why I ask this is because this is something I struggle with, where if I have old and new, they're not exactly the same. And then I might have a fondness for the original one. Like for example, we both enjoy Downfall of Pompeii. If they came out with a brand new reprint tomorrow of this game, I would still keep my old version just because I have the fondness of it. You know, it's like, yeah, the art is what it is, but it's like I've got so many plays with it, with that art, that I like that art in 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 its own way. And like you and I played the original as well. And at the same time, Castles of Burgundy, I still have my original version. And I've got the special edition. So,
See,
and I,
I would throw out your original version of that.
yeah, with its 15 shades of
Beige.
brown,
Yeah. Yeah.
beige, tan
Yeah.
tiles.
I
But
I get what you're
do you know
saying.
what I mean? Or
It's so okay. So you started off by saying Alecta Est or whatever, and then there was like another game that came out that essentially was a re-theme of the same game. So enjoying the Alecta, I wouldn't feel the need to buy the new
but
re-themed
if you had both for some reason,
for some reason. I don't know. My initial thought is I would keep one because they're basically the same game.
right?
I'd rather have the space available for something that plays different. And
So
if
yeah,
you're gonna
okay.
if you're gonna take it to game night, which one are you gonna grab? You
I
know,
would that brings okay. So I would reframe my question, and my answer to it would then be, if you have both versions, which you're going to keep? I automatically assumed you would want to keep the new one, but that's not necessarily the case. I would punt the new one. I would keep the original.
see if you had if it was two versions of the exact same game, so you had a new and an old of the Downfall of Pompeii. I could see I could see why you'd want to keep both. That makes sense because it's a game that you absolutely love. It's one of your favorites. So it would be hard to get rid of it even if you've got a new copy.
Right.
I get that.
Or
There's that may
or
make sense.
or another example, Finca. So you played my Finca and you got the new
I
one.
I like your Finca better
Yes.
because
The
the
original.
windmills integrated into the board. In the new copy, it's separate.
Yeah.
But my box is a lot smaller.
Yeah.
So there's that. But I think between that, like I wouldn't if I had the original Fink, I would have never bought the new one. I wouldn't. If Downfall Pompeii came out, I probably wouldn't buy it because I have it, unless there was some change to the game, or if they did some
Something
deluxeified
substantial. Yeah.
version of it, then I would probably get it. But I think I would probably still keep the original. So I guess I understand your Castles of Burgundy. Um, that that is a probably a unique situation, but
Because
most
for
games
for castles, I would say the main distinction with that one and why I have both is that the original, color issues, quality issues aside, it's so much easier to transport. And
out
if I
yeah
was going to take
yeah
the game, I would take the original. I would not take the special edition,
no, I
with its
understand that.
30-pound box.
Yeah, that makes sense. So therein is a good reason to have multiple copies. If you actually ever take that. See, that's the other thing too. if you enjoy the game enough, like I will haul Castles of Burgundy to game night. Doesn't matter how heavy it
Yeah.
is. It's something I enjoy playing, and it looks beautiful on the table, and you want to show it off,
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to bring the ugly one.
Yeah.
Um, so
However, if I'm bringing it to a con, I would take the original.
oh yeah,
If I
that's
go to a
different.
friend's house, I would probably take special
Yeah,
edition. Yeah.
yeah. You don't want to bring the big beautiful thing and lug that into a con.
The big beautiful box.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that
Unlike the
makes
bill.
sense.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot of considerations. And I think for me, when I'm, you know, holding a game in my hand, I'm judging the game on so many different qualities and circumstances where it's like, how many of those boxes does it check? Right? Is it a big space waster? Is it a fun game? How playable is it? Right? How easily can I get it to the table? That's all stuff that we kind of go through. And I've heard a lot of people talk about like the ones that are like regularly getting rid of games. They get rid of games that they wind up rebuying later on, right? Because in the moment you're like, "Oh, I don't want to play this game." And then you get rid of it and you're like, "Oh, I wish I had that game still."
Yeah. I know. I think another good option too is instead of just purging. So when I say purge, I'm thinking of getting rid of stuff and selling it. But I've been a friend of mine here does a lot of what they're called math trades,
Yeah.
and you put all the games into some kind of spreadsheet or something,
It's
basically
on
that.
BGG does it.
Yeah, so it's like here's the things I'm looking to get rid of, but you get other people's games that they're looking to get rid of. So maybe if you've got something that's like, I've played the snot out of this game, I'm fine with letting it go. You're not selling it, you're just trading it for another game of similar value, or you would agree to like,
Yeah.
hey, I'll give you these games if you give me these in your list. So you're basically just kind of swapping. Your library doesn't become an exchange of money or having to worry about selling it. You're like, okay, I can get these out, I've played them enough, I'm really kind of tired of them, but I've been wanting to play something else. Maybe you're going to end up getting a Gloomhaven, for something, and you didn't buy it, you just traded some stuff for it. Now once you go through that, spend your couple hundred hours in it, you're tired of it, you trade it out to get some more games into your
Yeah.
library or something. So that's definitely another option.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's like where it can go like many people deep, where it's like if you want Castles of Burgundy and you'll trade ISS Vanguard for it, it's like I might have a game that I want to trade for something else, and then that goes to person 2. They trade something to person 3, and then, you know, the game then goes to you. Eventually everybody gets filled. Well, hopefully. I
Yeah.
have heard that some people they ruin the chain, which is no good. But
Yeah, there's
because
risk in everything, I suppose,
yeah,
but
yeah, there is.
if you're not interested in it anymore and it's gone and you got something new to play, that's, again, an old game can still be something new to you. Or it
Yeah,
could be something like you said, man, I wish I hadn't gotten rid of it. Down the road, someone else may have it for trade and maybe you can get it back.
yeah, exactly.
So
Or maybe the person you traded it to will give it back to
there you go.
you for 10 times the cost. Or at Noble Knight. Anyway. Do you have any other criteria, or do you think we covered most of it?
I think we really kind of covered it. Yeah, I mean, I got stuff I haven't played yet that might still end up on the purge list someday, but I've gotten a lot of things out. I still everything. I still got tons of stuff that is still here. It's not in this room. It's out of the room. It's sitting on my kitchen table and then on a shelf in my living room that's like, okay, this stuff is going out the door. A bunch of stuff I got rid of. Was able to sell outright to people in the local area. Now I got a bunch still left, so I think I'm going to run another post. All right, here's what's left, and then after that, the big stuff will stay. The smaller stuff will go into the store for the pennies on the dollar and get store credit to buy something new. Which is how I got Andromeda's Edge, because I traded a bunch of stuff in and had credit. I
Mm-hmm.
bought the game at the store. Essentially, I just traded a bunch of stuff in for it. So
Yeah.
but
Stuff that was just sitting there, technically. Yeah.
So, and that's going to go tomorrow. Looks like I think I'm going to take that with me tomorrow and get her played.
Very nice.
So,
all right. So, yeah, there's the criteria or the craziness that we go through to decide what to keep, what to trade, punt, throw into garbage. You know,
and a guy in my group once said he was a big gamer, but he only
yeah.
had a few games. And he told me, he's like, why do I need to buy them? Because when you're part of a gaming group, other people have it. You know, if you want to play it, all you have to do is say, hey, you want to bring this? And they'd be like, heck yeah. If it's in their library, they obviously want to play it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they'll be happy to bring it. So you don't always have to buy stuff that other people have, you know, unless it's something you've got. Well, I've got another group, and then you don't want to borrow it, but you know, yeah, there is that a theory that if you have a gaming group, you can always play their games too. You don't have to own it.
Yes, you do.
So, and
That's,
sometimes some games just need to be owned.
dude, that's like saying, like, if you come over to my house for a barbecue and, or we're grilling or whatever, and then you say, I don't need to buy ketchup because Rob's got ketchup in his fridge. That's same logic. That's crazy talk.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't know how you keep trying to bring these food analogies in.
I'm apparently
It doesn't
hungry.
work. Apparently. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well,
Anyway,
that's what I got.
yeah. So that's it for episode 107, I think, right?
Sounds good.
All right. So let's wrap it up. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you have any criteria that you go through that we haven't discussed, just feel free to let us know. We'd love to hear what you go through to decide whether to keep a game or whether to trade it or do whatever with it. And just let us know. So I am Rob, and we'll catch you all in 2 weeks.
And I am Mark. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. And we will see you at the table.